Oh, what a mess. Now let's get it cleaned up. Welcome to Simple Life. It's a Sunday, and today we are gonna till up Herman's garden. He planted some kale, but he wasn't happy with what's going on, and it's still early enough to till it up again, so we're gonna till it all up, and then we're gonna go and till up the old greenhouse. The boys have a new project. You guys are gonna find out right now. The new project is to completely disassemble this greenhouse so we can rebuild it. This is the secondary greenhouse, not the one that got destroyed by the snow. That one we are gonna rebuild, and I've been working with the manufacturer, and they're gonna ship me a bunch of replacement parts. It's really cool of them to work with us on this. This spot I didn't do because you were there, and that would have been very rude to light you on fire while you were watching. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna come along, we're clearing all the trees out. The only tree that is staying is this one. Here's a little recap of how this looked after all our work the other night. It got a little too dark to film. Well, here's what we got. We tilled all the way along. We brought a pig panel in just to make sure it was gonna work properly. Tilled all the way along. We burned all our weeds along the edges. We still need to take the wiggle wire out to put new plastic on eventually. We still have some wires, some random T-posts stuck in the ground. We'll get all that fixed. We are putting in the water line to the greenhouse today. We're gonna put a spigot here at the well house, and then we're gonna put a spigot down where the apple press is, and then we're gonna put another spigot down with the garden. So we'll have 3 spigots all coming off the well. We're gonna dig a ditch from here to the greenhouse. People ask me all the time, are you gonna take a vacation? Yeah, I did. This is the first week of it. I had to do some type of catch up. After our first greenhouse got crushed by the snow, it really destroyed a lot of the plans that I had, and I really had to reset. It's taken a lot for me to reset, to get excited about having kind of my first garden. I've never really had my own garden before. I needed this time, and we got it done, and you're gonna see the transformation of 1 week of just hard work, me and the boys slamming away, getting a greenhouse so we can start growing our own vegetables and potentially producing all our own vegetables off our own land. What a dream. All right, we have about half of the trench dug all the way down. We got a bunch of the pipe in. The boys have a little hole underneath the root over there. They're currently digging a little spot to go in underneath the well house. So I'm gonna get the little yamar out that Clint brought down, and I'm gonna start filling this in so that way we have access to the road. Right now we have no access to the road. There's no way to get off the property. As well as Herman is getting plants with Christine right now. So Herman's gonna be coming up probably in the next hour or two. And so I wanna have him be able to get to his cabin, to be quite honest. All right, so we've gotten pretty far. Here's what we have. We have a T going up there. We have, this is all buried, and we just need to install the spigot and the connections and everything down there. Man, it's a lot of work. Even with an excavator, it's a lot of work. That'll work. He'll take a little bit to do that. By the time he's done doing this, I'll be done down there, and I'll be able to finish it off with the excavator. Actually, I'm gonna do some measurements because we need to replace all of the 2x4s on this. So one thing is they are treated, and I don't really want the byproducts of rotting pressure treated wood falling in my garden. I don't really even know what's in them. I'm not gonna try to pontificate on what is going to happen when that gets into my soil because I don't know, but I don't really care. I just don't want them here. Because this is already so torn down, I think it would be silly not to replace something that I'm gonna have to replace, especially since we're gonna be putting plastic on this. Okay, so as you can see, it's taking shape. It's slow, but it's taking shape. So what we're gonna start doing right now is start putting in the hip board, and we're gonna start at the bottom and just work our way all the way up and just slowly put the hip boards in one at a time. Obviously the metal walls are gone now, We pulled out the trees, I was super lucky to be able to take the excavator down that row. It was just wide enough. The row was just wide enough to get the excavator down. And I was able to pull the tree down, a tree from down there and one that was in the row. We're not done for the day at all. I think we have about 2, maybe 3 hours more of work in. But yeah, it's coming along. It's starting to actually look like a greenhouse that we can work with. And not that it wasn't a greenhouse before, and Herman's used it for years like this. But when I start investing time into an area to grow or put animals in, I really like to get my fencing, my infrastructure, my water, all that kind of stuff. I want to get it done. And you're going, well, what about your goats? You haven't done that with your goats, or you haven't done that with, you know, your pig pasture. Yeah, I'm working on it. When we bought both these properties, they were super rough. And so, and it's nothing against what Herman's done. Herman's done some amazing stuff up here. But in the last 10 years or so, he hasn't been able to do the maintenance. We got rained out yesterday evening, right as we were putting up the boards, we got rained out. So we're gonna keep putting up the boards, get the top hip board up. Once the hip board's up, I'll start working on the toe boards, and the boys will start putting up the wiggle wire track again. These are around 18 feet long. They're a little shy of 18 feet, which is gonna make it so that way they don't land perfectly on the pipes. But that's okay, because we did the same thing up at the other greenhouse and it worked fine. We might need to make some little scab boards that go in between, but if we have to, once again, not a big deal. The wiggle wire track will also kind of help pull everything together when we put that up, because that'll overlap any of our joints in between. That's the plan for today. We have a couple other little things we may be working on, but that's gonna be the thing we're working on right now. Hopefully we'll have an absolutely beautiful garden grown by 3 people who are not gardeners at all. Right, boys? Yeah. Okay, so let's look at what we got done today, because we got a lot done today. So we got our toe boards up all the way down. Those are the burnt ones down there. We got our hip boards up all the way along, except for it, we got about 6 feet on either end that we need to do. We also ended up getting most of our cattle panels or our pig panels in all the way around. The only thing we're missing are the ends, where I need to put up the last 6 feet of wood. Clay and Clay put all the wiggle wire track up, which was super helpful. Here it is. It goes all the way down. They did the other side as well. They're putting in the final screws as we speak, but they're waiting until I'm done talking. But it's looking really good. I mean, it's really come a long ways from what it looked like literally a week ago. We had just started, you know, doing some prep work in here. We have made huge progress. I mean, seriously, if you take a look from what it was to what it is now, it's gigantic. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and we can't wait to show you more of what we're doing in the future. Bye-bye.